What's happening? Welcome to today's mobility routine with 5-pillar mobility. Let's start by finding a nice comfy spot on your mat. Take a couple of breaths. Imagine breathing out any tension, any stress, any anxiety. Just get centered and focused on being present, being grateful for this moment, and enjoying some me time. Let all that stress just sift away with every breath. Challenge yourself to get happier, more passive, and less stressed with every breath. Slowing that breath down helps us slow that physiology down. So find that pace and rhythm and shape of breath that helps you find your nice calm and relaxed state. Let that breath calm your mind. Let that mind calm your body and help you find peace. Let's take one more nice deep breath. Feel that belly expand on the inhale. Let's sigh it all out. And we'll move into some left foot toe work. So ideally shoes and socks off here. If you need to pause the video, no worries. Once you're ready, grabbing a hold of each toe one at a time, getting a little bit of twist, a little bit of flexion, a little bit of movement through every joint of the toe, just freeing it up. Noticing any tension through the pads of the toes. You may need a light massage. Just free for all through those toes. Feel out what needs attention. Give a little extra attention to that big toe. Anything that feels restricted, just gently move it through its range. Find that pain-free range. Help that tissue slowly settle down and allow for better movement. Continue to work your way through. You can pick and choose through releasing toes, through opening up the joints, pulling it along its axis, stretching it through its limits. Let's take one more breath, and as we sigh out that breath, we'll transition into some toe scrunches on this left side. So basically all we're doing is fully flexing those toes, pulling them tight together, making a ball with your feet, and then fully extending the toes in the opposite direction. Straightening them out as far as they can, spreading them as far apart as they'll go, and then curling them back into a ball. And each rep, try to come a little further into that range. This is an active exercise, so we want to use those toes to flex and extend themselves through this full range. So try to avoid giving them any help with your hands. Continue to work those toes near their end range. Try and each rep to push a little further into the limits and trying even to carve out new range. Let's take one more rep here, giving a good squeeze in both directions. Then we'll sigh out that breath and shift to the right side. So let's start with some toe work. Do that right foot. Starting with a light massage through the pads or the base of those toes, whatever feels like it needs attention. Flexing and extending them through range. Maybe giving a slight tug along its axis to do a little tractioning through the toes. Moving them side to side. each joint, just feeling out anything that feels stiff, anything that needs attention, give it a little extra before moving on. And be sure to budget some time for that big toe. Just working every joint at every toe through its range of motion. Working within your pain-free limits. And just free for all what needs attention. Doing your best to remain passive, using that breath as your tool. And let's take one more deep diaphragmatic breath. We'll sigh it out, and we'll move into some toe scrunches. So starting with a big ball with your right toes, squeezing those toes tight together, making a fist, and then extending them out, extending them as far as they'll go, and as far apart from each other as they'll go, and gently squeezing them back together. And each rep, attempt to squeeze them tighter together, and then further spreading them apart. And as we work our way through this minute, just challenging yourself to come a little tiny bit further into the end range at each position, attempting to carve out new range through those toes. Down to about 10 seconds. Let's give a good squeeze for these last couple of reps. And we'll slowly sigh out that breath. And move into a left low dragon. And this is with a twist. We're going to grab that lacrosse ball and wedge the lacrosse ball in behind your left knee. And this gives a bit of a bonus knee tractioning effect. A bonus calf release while we're at it. And then just settle into whatever level of calf stretch feels right in this position. As always, working within your pain-free range, within your pain tolerance of pressure, being sensitive to how your body's responding, staying as passive as you can through as many muscles as you can. And in 10 seconds, we will gently get active through the calf by attempting to depress the balls of your feet through the floor. And let's go ahead, resisting that stretch, starting with nice easy force, ramping up that tension as we go. Let's finish with a big squeeze here for these last 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse, squeeze to the top side of your left foot, your left ankle, your tibans, ramping up tension as we go. Actively trying to pull deeper into the stretch, finishing strong. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax, nice and passive. Submit to that position. Settle into whatever level of stretch feels right for today. Mentally turning off any muscle we don't need, especially that target area. Now take one more good deep diaphragmatic breath here. Let's sigh out that breath, and we'll shift into the right side. So wedging that lacrosse ball in behind your right knee, settling into that low dragon stretch, letting your chest sink heavy on top of that lower leg. Experiment with your position till you feel that stretch around that mid-calf area, around the end range of your dorsiflexion. Use your breath to calm your mind, and then work to actively turn off any muscles that are tense that don't need to be. Relaxing through that calf, through your arms, through your face, through your core. Submit to this position. And in 5 seconds, we'll gently get active by attempting to press those right balls of the feet into the floor. Let's go ahead, starting with nice easy tension. Slowly ramping up that gas pedal pressure. Let's give a good squeeze here for these last 5. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Squeeze through the top of your foot, the top of your ankle, the front side of your shin, actively trying to pull your knee deeper into that stretch. Ramping up tension as we go. Finish with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax, nice and passive. Relax yourself into this position. Settle back into your happy place. Let everything slow down. One more deep diaphragmatic breath here. And slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll transition into a left side single leg saddle stretch. Start by pulling that left heel up towards your hips. And sitting upright, if we feel a stretch here, and that's enough of a stretch, feel free to hang out right here. If you've got the flexibility and mobility for it, feel free to gently lean backwards, either all the way down to your elbows or all the way down to the floor. Just being conscious of what your pain-free limits are. We want stretch, we don't want pain, and that is a hard rule. Once we're there, getting nice and relaxed mentally, submitting to the position, relaxing through that hip flexor, relaxing through that left quad, relaxing around that knee. In 10 seconds, we will gently get active by attempting to push your left foot into the floor. And let's go ahead, squeezing through that quad, actively trying to push that foot into the floor. Ramp up that tension as we go. Let's finish with a big squeeze. Really squeezing. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Actively trying to pull your heel closer to your hips. Through the hamstring. Ramp up that tension as we go. Really squeezing here for the end. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out. Relax. Nice and passive. Relax through that quad, relax through that hip flexor. Consciously working to scan through that knee joint, your hip joint, anything that's resisting, fighting this position. Just mentally turn it off. Now we'll take one more breath here. As you sigh out that breath, we'll transition into a right side single leg saddle. Pull that right heel up towards your hips. And once again, if sitting upright in this position is enough of a stretch, feel free to hang out right here. If you've got the mobility for it, feel free to lean back onto your elbows or all the way flat on your back. You've got the room for it. Just always being sensitive to how your body's responding and staying within your pain-free range. So whatever version of this stretch you've got going on today, just settle in. Concentrate on getting as passive as you can in this position. Submitting to this stretch. And in 10 seconds, we will gently get active through the quad by attempting to push your foot through the floor. Let's go ahead, starting with nice, easy tension. Activating through those quads, attempting to reverse the stretch, ramping up tension as we go. Let's really finish with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse, activating through your hamstring, trying to pull your hips closer to your heel, ramp up that tension. Finish with a big squeeze, hard as you can. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax, nice and passive. Once again, scanning through all the muscles around your knee, around your hips, your thighs, your hamstring. If there's anything that feels like it's fighting this stretch, just let it go to sleep. Let's take one more good breath here. And as you sigh out that breath, we'll transition to a squat stretch. So in a perfect world, we're going to squat your hips all the way down to your ankles and sit on your heels. If you do not have that pain-free range, feel out whatever is pain-free for you today. And feel free to prop up a chair or a cushion, something that will stop you at the end of your pain-free limits. And your feet should be right where there would be where you squat from. If you're not sure, aim for about shoulder width, with your toes slightly angled out. And you may tweak it a little bit depending on your anatomy. Just settle into whatever feels right for today. In a few seconds, we will gently get active through the ankle. So again, actively trying to press the balls of your feet into the floor, activating through the calf. Let's go ahead, starting with nice, easy tension. Attempting to reverse the stretch through your ankle, ramp up that tension as we go. Let's finish with a big hard squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Squeeze through the top of your foot, the top of your ankle. Activate through those tib bands, ramp up that tension as we go. Finish with a big squeeze here for these last 5. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Fall back into that basic squat stretch. You may find your ankles a little deeper into its end range or into new range. If so, great. If not, don't sweat it. We will get there. Keep trusting the process. In 10 seconds, we'll get active now through the knee. Attempting to reverse the stretch by activating through the quad and lifting your hips using your quads. And let's go ahead, starting with nice, easy tension. Flexing through those quad muscles, ramping up that tension as we go. Finishing with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse, activating through that hamstring, attempting to pull your hips closer to your ankles, ramping up that tension as we go. Let's give a good squeeze here for these last 5. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax, get nice and passive. Submit to that position. Mentally get to a nice state of calm. Let that calm state work its way through your whole body, settling back into that nice calming rhythm of your breath. And let's take one more deep, good quality diaphragmatic breath. And as you sigh out that breath, we will call it a day. Thanks for joining us here today. Hope your body's feeling great. Hope you enjoyed the session. Hope you're making some progress. If you like the video, remember to like and subscribe. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.